I never thought a single knock at the bedroom door would change the rest of my life. That night, my heart was pounding louder than the rain against the window. I was alone, or at least I thought I was. My reflection stared back at me from the vanity mirror. The lipstick was crooked. The wig sat a little too high. My hands trembled as I pulled the straps of the dress higher over my shoulders. And then I heard it. "Sweetheart, are you in there?" Her voice. My wife's voice. For a moment I froze. My lungs locked tight as if I'd forgotten how to breathe. She couldn't see me like this. Not now. Not like this. But the door creaked anyway. And when her eyes met mine, everything I thought I knew about myself, about us, shifted. That was the night she didn't just catch me cross-dressing. That was the night she decided to make me hers in a way I never expected. My name's Daniel. At least, that's what it says on my driver's license. 34 years old. Accountant. Husband. The guy who always remembers to take out the trash on Wednesday nights. To the world, I was normal, ordinary even. And for the most part, I played that role well. But ordinary only lives on the surface. Beneath it, I'd been carrying a secret since I was a teenager. It started small. My sister's old closet was like a forbidden treasure chest. She'd moved out when she was 18, leaving behind shoes, skirts, and boxes of makeup she didn't bother to take. I was 14. Curious. And lonely. I still remember slipping my feet into her ballet flats, how ridiculous they looked against my lanky frame. But the feeling wasn't ridiculous at all. It was quieting, like putting on armor that somehow made me softer. More myself. I didn't know what to call it back then. All I knew was that every time I put something back in that closet, I felt a little emptier. And every time I snuck something out, my heart would race like I'd stolen the crown jewels. Life moved on, though. College. Meeting Anna. Falling in love. Marriage. A house. A dog. Promotions at work. And yet, the secret stayed. Hidden. Folded in the back of drawers, zipped in garment bags no one checked, tucked inside me where no one dared to look. Anna and I had been married 6 years now. She was radiant in that effortless way, her laugh lit up rooms, her kindness made strangers feel at home. She was the kind of woman people noticed. And me? I was the man lucky enough to stand beside her. We were happy. At least, I think she was. I know I loved her. But love doesn't erase secrets. It just hides them under prettier layers. Every time she'd go out with friends or leave for a work trip, I'd feel the temptation stirring. I'd tell myself, "Not tonight, Daniel. Don't risk it." But then the quiet of the house would press in. And eventually, I'd give in. That night, the night everything changed, was supposed to be like all the others. She had told me she'd be out late with her colleagues. Dinner, maybe a few drinks, and then back home. That gave me hours. Hours I thought were mine. I went to the closet and pulled out the carefully hidden box. My hands shook even as I lifted the lid. Inside, neatly folded, was the dress I'd ordered online months ago and never had the courage to try on. It was navy blue, soft, with a little bow at the neckline. Feminine, but not flashy. I thought I could disappear into it. I was wrong. Slipping it over my head, I felt the fabric glide across my skin like it belonged there. My breath caught. In the mirror, I barely recognized myself. My reflection wasn't Daniel. It was something else. Someone else. Someone who had been waiting far too long. I whispered under my breath, "Who are you?" And then her voice. "Sweetheart, are you in there?" I panicked. Lipstick smeared across my cheek as I tried to wipe it away with trembling fingers. My wig slipped sideways as I scrambled, desperate to hide everything. But the sound of the doorknob turning froze me in place. The door opened. And Anna stood there, silhouetted against the hallway light. Her eyes widened. She took me in from head to toe, dress, wig, makeup smudged like a child's painting. My stomach dropped into my shoes. I thought she'd scream. Or cry. Or turn and walk out the door. I braced myself for the worst. But instead, she smiled. A small, almost mischievous smile. Well, she said softly, tilting her head. "What do we have here?" Her voice wasn't angry. It wasn't horrified. It was curious. Gentle. like she had just found a puzzle piece she'd been looking for all along. And in that moment, standing there exposed in ways I'd never imagined, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Anna closed the door behind her with a soft click, and in that instant, I felt like a cornered animal. My heart thudded so hard I could hear it echoing in my ears. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. I wanted to explain, to beg, to deny anything to undo what she was seeing. But she didn't give me the chance. Her eyes traveled over me slowly, from my messy wig to my trembling hands clutching the hem of the dress. She folded her arms and leaned against the doorframe, her smile widening just enough to make my stomach knot tighter. "You look," she paused deliberately, letting the silence stretch. "Different." I swallowed hard. I can explain." "Oh, I'm sure you can." She pushed off the doorframe and walked toward me, each step deliberate. "But before you try, tell me something, sweetheart." She tilted her head. "Is this the first time?" My knees felt weak. My mind raced. The truth clawed at me, but shame pinned it down. I wanted to lie. To say yes, just this once, it was a joke, a mistake. But something in her eyes, something steady and knowing, made me stumble. "No," I whispered. Her smile deepened, but it wasn't cruel. It was the kind of smile she gave when she was proud of me for finally admitting something. She pulled the chair from the vanity and sat down, crossing her legs casually as if this was just another evening chat. "How long?" she asked softly. I twisted my hands together, staring at the floor. "Since I was a teenager." And then, she nodded thoughtfully, like a doctor making a note. "So this isn't new at all. You've been carrying it with you, hiding it." My throat tightened. "I didn't want you to find out." I was scared. Her laugh was soft, almost musical. "Scared of me? Darling, I'm your wife. What exactly did you think I'd do? Run? Throw a fit? Pack my bags?" I bit my lip, shame prickling like needles in my chest. "Maybe." She leaned forward, resting her chin on her hand, studying me. "And yet here I am. Not running." Her calmness was disarming. I didn't understand. I expected anger, disgust, maybe even betrayal. But instead, she looked intrigued, curious, almost amused. She reached out suddenly and caught my wrist. I flinched, but she only tugged gently until I stood closer. Her fingers brushed the fabric of the dress, smoothing it against my side. "This suits you," she murmured. I stared at her, bewildered. "You don't hate me?" "Hate you?" She blinked in surprise, then let out a small laugh. "Darling, no. If anything, I feel like I'm finally meeting a part of you I should have met years ago." Her words hit me harder than any anger could have. My eyes burned, and I had to look away before she saw. Anna stood, moving behind me, her hands resting lightly on my shoulders. Our reflections stared back from the mirror, her calm, radiant, me trembling, caught between shame and something I didn't dare name. She tilted her head beside mine and whispered, "Tell me, when you look at yourself right now, who do you see?" I froze. Who did I see? The question rang in my head. I didn't know how to answer. It wasn't Daniel staring back. But it wasn't exactly someone else either. It was unfinished. A sketch waiting to be filled in. "I don't know," I admitted, voice breaking. Anna's arms slid around me, hugging me from behind. Her warmth seeped through the thin fabric of the dress. "That's all right," she whispered. "We'll figure it out together." The word "together" hit me like sunlight breaking through clouds. But before I could sink into the relief of it, she added, teasingly, "Of course, if you're going to wear lipstick, you could at least learn to apply it straight." I gasped softly as she reached for the tube of lipstick on the vanity. She twisted it open, and in one smooth motion, pressed it to my lips. "Stay still," she ordered playfully. My heart raced as she carefully traced the shape of my mouth, her touch gentle but confident. When she pulled back, she smirked. "Much better. Now you look almost kissable." I flushed deep crimson. "Anna." She raised an eyebrow. "What? You thought I'd be horrified? That I'd throw you out?" "No, sweetheart. You're mine. All of you. Even this." Her words sank into me like ink on paper. I didn't know whether to cry, laugh, or collapse into her arms. But Anna wasn't finished. She stepped back, arms folded, studying me like an artist with a canvas. The dress is cute, but you need more than just clothes. If you're going to do this, you're going to do it properly. I blinked at her. Properly? Yes, she said matter-of-factly. Makeup, posture, voice, the whole thing. If you're going to explore this side of yourself, then you're not doing it halfway. You're going to let me help you. Her tone left no room for argument. It was playful, but firm. I don't know if I can, I stammered. She smiled knowingly. You can. And you will. Because you want this. I can see it in your eyes. Her gaze held mine, steady and unflinching. And I realized with a jolt that she was right. Beneath the fear, beneath the shame, there was a spark. A dangerous, undeniable spark of want. Anna reached out, brushing her thumb across my cheek where the makeup had smudged. Her touch was tender. Don't worry, love. I'll take care of you. I'll show you how to become the woman hiding inside. I shivered. The words rang in my head like a promise. Or a threat. Or both. And that was the moment I knew. I hadn't just been caught. I had been claimed. Anna didn't let me change out of the dress that night. The thought of undressing, of peeling it off and hiding it back in its box, felt almost like relief at first. I could bury the whole evening, pretend it never happened. But the way Anna looked at me, arms crossed, head tilted, that knowing sparkle in her eyes, it made me freeze. No, she said firmly when I moved to tug the zipper down. Leave it on. Anna, please. I can't. She raised a finger to my lips, silencing me. You can. And you will. Because I want to see you. Not just a glimpse. Not just a rushed, secret moment. You. Her certainty was overwhelming. I'd spent years trembling in fear of this exact discovery, and yet here she was, refusing to let me hide again. Sit, she commanded softly, pointing to the edge of the bed. I obeyed, the hem of the dress brushing my knees as I sat down awkwardly. She crouched in front of me, her eyes level with mine. You've been carrying this alone for so long, haven't you? I nodded weakly, unable to find words. She reached out, smoothing her palm across my cheek. No more hiding. Not from me. You hear? Tears pricked at my eyes. I'm scared, I whispered. Her smile softened. Good. That means it matters. She stood, walking over to the closet. I watched in silence as she sifted through hangers, humming under her breath. When she returned, she held a silky scarf and a pair of kitten heels I'd never seen before. I blinked. Where did those come from? She grinned. Oh, don't look so surprised. You think I've never noticed your little secrets? The way my tights would go missing? Or how I'd find my lipstick slightly worn when I hadn't touched it? Darling, I've known something for a long time. My jaw dropped. And you never said anything? She shrugged casually. I was waiting for you to be ready. And tonight, well, you've saved me the trouble. She placed the heels at my feet. Try them. I hesitated. My stomach twisted. But her expectant gaze left me no escape. Slowly, I slipped my feet into the shoes. The fit wasn't perfect, but the sensation was electric. I wobbled as I stood, gripping the bedpost for balance. Anna chuckled, folding her arms. Adorable. Like a baby deer learning to walk. Heat rushed to my face. I look ridiculous. No, she said firmly. You look yours. That's the word. Like you finally belong in your own skin. Her words wrapped around me like a blanket. For the first time, instead of drowning in shame, I felt a flicker of something new. Hope. Now, she said, tapping her chin, every lovely lady needs a name. My eyes widened. A name? Of course, she said matter-of-factly. You don't think I'm going to call you Daniel when you're dressed like this, do you? I stammered. I never thought about it. Well, think now. She sat on the edge of the bed, watching me pace awkwardly in the heels. What name feels like you? I chewed my lip, mind racing. Dozens of names drifted through my thoughts, none of them settling. Finally, I whispered, maybe. Danielle? Anna smirked. Too easy. Too close. You deserve something that feels chosen. Not borrowed. She tapped her chin dramatically. You look like a lily. The name bloomed inside me like sunlight spilling through a window. Lily. Simple. Gentle. Alive. Lily, I echoed softly. Her smile widened. Yes, that's it. My Lily. My chest tightened. No one had ever called me that before. It felt impossibly right. Anna stood, brushing her hands along my arms until our fingers intertwined. You're trembling, she teased. I feel ridiculous, I admitted. You feel alive, she corrected. There's a difference. She tugged me gently toward the mirror again. This time, when I looked at my reflection, I didn't just see a man in a dress. I saw Lily, shy, uncertain, but real. Anna leaned against me, whispering, I'm going to make you shine. Not because you need fixing, but because you deserve to see what I see when I look at you. I swallowed hard, emotions threatening to spill. And what do you see? She kissed my cheek softly, leaving a faint trace of lipstick. I see my wife. My breath caught. The word echoed in my chest, terrifying and thrilling all at once. She laughed at my expression, brushing my wig back into place. Relax, Lily. We're just beginning. Tomorrow, we'll go shopping. You'll need clothes that actually fit, makeup that flatters, maybe even, the fun we'll have. I blinked, stunned. Shopping? In public. Eventually, she said with a wicked grin. But for now, we'll practice. Step by step. I'll teach you how to walk, how to speak, how to be. And by the time I'm done with you, Daniel will be the one that feels like a costume. My knees nearly gave out. I gripped her hands for balance. Anna, I don't know if I can do this. Her voice softened again, wrapping around me like silk. You don't have to know. You just have to trust me. And looking into her eyes, steady and unshakable, I realized I already did. That night, long after the makeup had smudged and the heels pinched my toes, Anna held me in her arms as we lay in bed. She brushed her fingers through my hair, whispering, "Good night, Lily," before drifting to sleep. I stayed awake, staring at the ceiling. The name echoed in my mind. Lily. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel alone. The next morning felt different. I woke up expecting dread, that heavy, sinking pit in my stomach that usually followed nights of secret dressing. But instead, when my eyes blinked open, the first thing I saw was Anna curled against me, her hand still resting lightly on my chest. And the first thing I heard was her sleepy voice whispering, "Good morning, Lily." The name sent a shiver straight through me. She said it so casually, so naturally, as if it had always been mine. I swallowed. "Morning," I croaked. My voice sounded rough, and immediately she grinned. Too deep," she teased, poking my cheek. "We'll have to work on that. A proper lady needs a proper voice." I groaned, hiding my face in the pillow. "Anna." She laughed and rolled out of bed, tugging the covers off me with one swift motion. "Come on. Today's a big day." I blinked, sitting up. "What do you mean?" She stretched, her nightshirt slipping over one shoulder, and smirked. "Shopping. Did you think I was joking?" My blood ran cold. "You can't be serious." "Oh, I'm very serious," she said, heading toward the closet. "Don't worry, we'll start small. Just a few basics to build your wardrobe. Nobody's going to bite you." I buried my face in my hands. "I can't go out like this." Anna paused, turning back to me with a sly smile. "Then we'll practice first." And practice we did. She cleared the living room floor, setting up an impromptu runway. "All right, Lily," she announced, clapping her hands. "Heels on. Chin up. One foot in front of the other." I wobbled as soon as I stood. The shoes felt like tiny stilts designed to humiliate me. Anna, of course, was merciless. "Grace, Lily. Not like you're stomping through mud. Imagine you're gliding. Imagine you're floating." "I'm going to fall," I muttered. She grinned wickedly. "Then fall gracefully." Her laughter filled the room as I shuffled awkwardly, my arms flailing for balance. But every time I faltered, she was there, steadying me with a hand at my waist, encouraging me with little words. "Better. Good. See? You've got this." At first I hated it, the vulnerability, the clumsiness. But after an hour, something strange happened. The movements started to feel natural. My steps smoothed out. My body adjusted. I caught a glimpse of myself in the hallway mirror, and for the first time, I didn't see a man pretending. I saw Lily, awkward, yes, but becoming. Anna noticed too. Her eyes softened, pride flickering in them. "There she is," she whispered. Later, she sat me down with a notebook and pen. "Now, voice lessons," she declared. I raised an eyebrow. "Voice lessons? What am I, in drama school?" "Exactly," she said with a grin. "Say this sentence: 'Hello, my name is Lily. It's so lovely to meet you.'" I groaned, but repeated it in my normal voice. She wrinkled her nose. "Too flat. Try again, lighter, softer. Like you're holding a secret." I tried. It came out awkward, squeaky. She burst into laughter. "Oh, darling, you sound like a cartoon mouse." I flushed. "See? This is ridiculous." But she shook her head firmly. "No, it's progress. And progress is never ridiculous." We practiced until my throat ached. And each time I tried, each time I failed, she was there, correcting gently, encouraging, laughing with me, not at me. The more we practiced, the more I realized something terrifying. I wanted to get it right. That evening, Anna pulled me into the bathroom. "Time for makeup practice." My stomach clenched. "Anna, I can't." "Shoo." She pressed a finger to my lips. "You can. And you will." She set out brushes, powders, lipsticks, the works. Then she guided me step by step. "Foundation first. Blend, don't smear." "No, softer. Gentle, Lily. You're not scrubbing a dish." I fumbled, my hands clumsy. She leaned over me, her cheek brushing mine as she guided my strokes. "There. Better. See? You're learning." By the time we finished, my reflection was different. Still me, still rough around the edges, but softer. Feminine. I stared, my breath catching. "That's me." Anna smiled in the mirror behind me, wrapping her arms around my waist. "That's Lily." Her voice was so certain, so proud, that tears stung my eyes. I pressed a hand to my mouth, trying to steady myself. She kissed my cheek softly. "Beautiful," she whispered. And for the first time, I almost believed it. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, Lily began to step out from behind Daniel's shadow. Anna encouraged me constantly, buying me little gifts, surprising me with new clothes, leaving notes that read "Good morning, Lily" on the bathroom mirror. Each small act chipped away at my fear. And something inside me shifted. At work, I was still Daniel, the responsible, buttoned-up accountant. But at home, I was Lily. And Lily was growing bolder. I started looking forward to evenings, to the click of heels on the floor, to the brush of fabric, to the warmth in Anna's eyes when she called me her wife. One night, as we sat curled together on the couch, Anna whispered, "Do you realize how much you've changed?" I frowned. "What do you mean?" She brushed her fingers along my arm. "When I first saw you, you were terrified. Ready to bolt. And now," she tilted my chin so I had to meet her gaze. "Now I see confidence. I see joy. I see a woman who's beginning to love herself." Her words pierced straight through me. I wanted to protest, to deny, to insist I was still just playing dress-up. But the truth pulsed in my chest, undeniable. I was starting to love being Lily. And that terrified me more than anything. It happened on a Saturday. By then, weeks had passed since Anna first caught me. Lily had grown bolder, more present. I could walk across the room in heels without wobbling. I could apply lipstick without painting my face like a clown. Anna had even taken me shopping, though only for small trips, always late, always careful. But that Saturday, she decided it was time for more. "We're going out," she announced over breakfast. I froze mid-bite. "Out? Where?" She sipped her coffee, utterly casual. "Downtown. Lunch. Maybe some shopping. A normal date. Only this time, Lily's coming with me." The fork slipped from my hand and clattered against the plate. "Anna, no. I can't. Not in public. Not like this." Her gaze softened but remained steady. "You can. You're ready." "No," I whispered, panic rising. "People will stare. They'll laugh. They'll know I don't belong." Anna reached across the table, taking my trembling hands in hers. "Darling, people don't get to decide if you belong. You do. But her words couldn't stop the tidal wave inside me. Fear crashed hard. I pulled my hands free, standing so quickly the chair scraped across the floor. This is insane, Anna. I'm not. I'm not really Lily. I'm just a man in a dress. That's all. The silence that followed was deafening. Anna set her cup down slowly, her eyes never leaving mine. When she finally spoke, her voice was calm but firm. Do you really believe that? I opened my mouth to answer. Nothing came out. Because I don't, she continued. I've seen Lily. I've held her. I've laughed with her. She's not some costume. She's you. She's real. Tears stung my eyes, anger and shame twisting together. You don't understand. You don't know what it's like. The world isn't as kind as you are. Out there, they'll see a joke. A freak. I'll ruin everything. Her expression hardened, her voice sharpening. And so what? You'd rather live your whole life as half of yourself? Hide Lily away forever because strangers might frown at you? That's not living, Daniel. That's suffocating. The use of my old name hit like a slap. I flinched. Anna stood, coming around the table. She cupped my face in her hands, forcing me to meet her eyes. Listen to me. I married you because I love all of you, even the parts you thought were unlovable. But if you keep running from Lily, you're not just betraying yourself, you're betraying us. Her words cracked something inside me. My knees buckled, and I sank into her arms, sobbing. I'm scared, I choked out. So scared. She held me tightly, whispering into my hair. I know. But you're not alone. You'll never be alone. I'm right here. And I'm not letting go. That afternoon, we didn't go downtown. Instead, Anna guided me gently to the bedroom mirror. Look, she said softly. I stared at my reflection. Wig in place. Makeup neat. Dress hugging curves I barely had. My breath came in ragged bursts. Tell me what you see, she whispered. My lips trembled. I see someone trying to be something she's not. No, Anna said firmly, standing behind me, her arms wrapping around my waist. Look again. I shook my head, tears spilling. I can't. She kissed my temple. Then let me tell you what I see. I see a woman brave enough to step into herself, even when she's terrified. I see my partner. My wife. My Lily. The words broke me. For so long, I had carried shame like chains, convinced that if anyone saw, they would recoil. But Anna didn't recoil. She embraced. She claimed. She believed in me even when I couldn't believe in myself. I turned in her arms, burying my face against her shoulder. How do you do it? How do you see her when I can't? She smiled through her own tears. Because love shows me. And one day, you'll see her too. Not just in mirrors. In you. That night was the breaking point. We lay together in bed, the lamp casting a golden glow. I stared at the ceiling, exhausted from crying. Anna traced circles on my arm, her touch grounding me. Finally, she spoke. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep running back to Daniel every time it gets hard? Or are you going to choose Lily? My chest tightened. Can I be both? Her smile was sad but kind. You can. But ask yourself, who feels more like home? The question echoed in me. Home. I thought of Daniel, dutiful, hidden, silent. I thought of Lily, shy, clumsy, trembling, but alive. And for the first time, the answer didn't scare me. I turned toward her, whispering so softly I barely heard it myself. I want to be Lily. Her eyes lit with pride. She kissed me gently, lingering. Then be her. Starting now. No more half steps. No more hiding. You're mine, Lily. My wife. The word no longer felt terrifying. It felt right. And as I drifted into sleep that night, tears still drying on my cheeks, I knew the decision was made. I was Lily. And there was no going back. The morning after my breaking point felt different. The air itself seemed lighter, as though some invisible weight had been lifted. I padded into the kitchen, still half asleep, and found Anna humming as she poured coffee into 2 mugs. She turned, her smile warm as sunlight. Morning, Lily, she said softly. The name didn't make me flinch this time. Instead, it wrapped around me like a favorite blanket. I smiled back. Morning. She slid a mug toward me, then raised her eyebrow playfully. Milk, sugar, or does my wife take it black today? Heat rose to my cheeks, but I laughed. It wasn't the nervous, broken laugh of before, it was freer. Milk. 2 sugars. Her eyes sparkled. Good girl. The words sent a thrill through me I couldn't explain. Life didn't change overnight, not entirely. At work, I was still Daniel's suits, spreadsheets, polite handshakes. But at home, Lily had space to breathe. She was no longer locked away in secret boxes and whispered moments. She lived in the open now, in the laughter Anna and I shared, in the evenings spent practicing eyeliner, in the soft pajamas Anna bought me that somehow fit better than any clothes Daniel ever wore. Of course, it wasn't always easy. There were moments when fear crept back, when I'd stare too long in the mirror and wonder if I was a fraud. When my voice cracked too low or when a neighbor's glance lingered a second too long. But every time the doubt threatened to drown me, Anna was there. A hand on mine. A smile. A whispered, my Lily. And little by little, those moments of doubt grew shorter. The moments of joy grew longer. One evening, weeks later, Anna came home carrying a shopping bag. She set it on the table with a mischievous grin. What's that? I asked, narrowing my eyes. Open it, she said, folding her arms. Inside was a simple white dress, soft cotton, with lace along the edges. Nothing flashy, nothing bold. Just beautiful. I touched it reverently. Anna. She leaned closer, her voice gentle. It's yours. Not Daniel's. Yours. My throat tightened. For me. For my wife, she corrected, her eyes gleaming. I laughed through tears, hugging her tightly. The dress wasn't just fabric. It was a symbol. A promise. When I wore it that night, Anna twirled me gently in the living room, humming a slow tune. I stumbled over her feet, blushing furiously, but she only laughed. You'll learn, she teased. And for once, instead of shame, I felt hope. We never did have a dramatic unveiling to the world. No grand announcement, no spotlight moment. Instead, it was slow. Quiet. Some friends noticed changes. Some didn't. But it didn't matter. What mattered was us. Because Anna hadn't just caught me that night. She had caught me, held me, and refused to let me fall. She had made me her wife. And strangely, beautifully, I realized I wanted nothing else. Sometimes I think back to the moment I froze in front of that vanity mirror, smudged lipstick and trembling hands, certain my world was about to collapse. If only I could whisper to that terrified version of me. I'd say, don't be afraid. She won't leave. She'll see you. She'll name you. And she'll love you even more for it. Because that's the truth. My name is Lily. And this is how I became hers.